Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into Logframe development, a practical, stepwise guide for MEL practitioners. Listen, if you want to understand how to design global programs that actually work in the real world, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to completely strip away the confusing jargon and break down exactly how to build a logical framework, step by step. Let's get right into it.
So here's a really tough question. Why do so many well-funded, incredibly passionately led development programs totally fail to demonstrate real results? It happens all the time, right? Well, the reality is that good intentions just don't automatically translate to impact. And honestly, the reason usually isn't a lack of effort. It's because program design often relies on some pretty flawed logic. We kind of just assume that doing good things naturally leads to massive systemic change. But as we'll see today, that's a seriously dangerous assumption.
Okay, so the absolute most crucial mistake a program can make is confusing the delivery of an activity with actual behavioral change. Think about it. On one hand, we have delivering activities, things like running a teacher training workshop or distributing tablets. That's literally just delivery. On the other hand, we have achieving actual behavioral change. That means teachers are actually applying those new methods in their classrooms. If your program design stops at just delivering stuff, you aren't designing for impact. You're just designing a giant to-do list. To solve this whole to-do list problem, we use what I like to call the ultimate blueprint. It bridges program design and real-world measurement. Introducing the blank 4x4 matrix. This framework is amazing because it literally forces you to distinguish between what you invest, what you do, what you deliver, what changes, and finally, what ultimate effect you contribute to. And we are going to build this entire thing out together right now.
We call this matrix the logical framework, or Logframe for short. Now, I want to clear something up right out of the gate here. A logframe is a structured matrix connecting intended results with measurement, evidence, and external causal assumptions. What it is not is just some annoying donor reporting template that you frantically fill out at the last minute. No way. It is a rigorous, logical test of how your intervention will actually work. Simply put, if you can't fill this out logically, your program won't work, period.
All right, let's move over to the first column and see exactly how this builds. We always start by establishing our results hierarchy. We do this using a downward progression, or what's sometimes called backward mapping. You see, we don't start with what we want to do. Actually, scratch that. We start with what we want to change. So we start way up at the impact. Then we drill down to the outcome, down to the outputs, and finally all the way down to the daily activities. To make this super concrete, let's ground it in a continuous case study. Improving girls' secondary education. We're starting at the very top here with the impact. Our impact statement is, girls and boys achieve improved learning, agency, and future opportunities through completion of quality secondary education. The absolute crucial insight you need to take away here is that this is a massive, long-term population-level change. Your specific program doesn't control this entirely, right? You are just contributing to it. Next up, we step down a level to the outcome. For our education case study, the outcome is girls in target districts attend regularly, remain enrolled, and complete secondary education. Now, the really important point here is that an outcome represents a tangible, measurable change in behavior, practice, or systemic functioning. It directly answers the question, what are people actually doing differently because we intervened? Okay, dropping down again, we hit outputs. Our output here is teachers complete training and coaching on inclusive instruction. This right here is what your program directly controls and delivers. It's a product or a service you're handing over. Think of it this way. We can completely control whether teachers show up and finish the training. But, and this is a big but, we don't entirely control whether they actually use that training to change their behavior in the classroom. And that is exactly why this is an output and not an outcome. And finally, we hit rock bottom. In a good way. We reach the activities. These are just the practical, actionable steps required to produce those outputs we just talked about. In our case, it's super straightforward. Conduct teacher training and ongoing coaching. Bam! We've just successfully completed the vertical results hierarchy. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates how you have to work backward from your ultimate dream goal to figure out exactly what you need to be doing on a random Tuesday. But as you probably know, just setting goals isn't quite enough. So we must transition to building out the horizontal logic. This is the part where we answer the truly critical question. Exactly how on earth will we prove these changes are actually happening out there? We need cold, hard evidence. Let's force a bit of a paradigm shift right here, because this is where a lot of folks get tripped up. Let's look at an output indicator, maybe something like the number of teachers trained. Honestly, that's a really weak reach indicator.
It basically just tells us how busy we were, or, I don't know, how much coffee was consumed at the workshop. Now, contrast that with an outcome indicator, percentage of teachers applying learner-centered practices. See the difference? That is a strong behavioral change indicator. Training 1,000 teachers literally means nothing if 0% of them change their actual classroom practices. You absolutely must measure what actually matters.
So let's plug those right into our matrix. Now, what's really fascinating about this is how each level demands a completely different type of measurement. Way up at the impact level, we're looking at the big macro picture, so we use the secondary school completion rate. Down at the outcome level, we need behavioral data, so we look at the annual retention rate among supported girls. And further down at the output level, we're just measuring delivery, so we track the percentage of teachers completing the full package. Notice how beautifully the indicators align perfectly with the actual nature of the result.
Here's the catch, though. An indicator is practically useless if you don't have a credible, cost-effective way to actually collect the data. And that brings us perfectly to the means of verification, or MOVI for short. Basically, where is this evidence coming from? Well, for our project, we might tap into the National Education Management Information System, we might conduct direct student surveys, use internal coaching logs, or maybe deploy structured quality observation checklists. Let's take those data sources and plug them right back into our growing matrix. We are literally building a solid wall of evidence-based planning here. Look at our outcome, girls attending regularly. We measure it via the retention rate, and we prove it using student surveys and trackers. There is absolutely no guesswork happening here. Every single result has a metric, and every single metric has a strictly defined data source.
All right, we've made it to the final, and honestly, the most frequently misunderstood column of the whole shebang: assumptions. Assumptions are the external conditions that are completely necessary for your program to progress between results levels, but they are totally outside of your direct program control. Let me just caution you right now. Whatever you do not write lazy generic statements here like political stability continues or the weather remains good. No. Your assumptions have to be specific causal links that can literally make or break your entire program's logic.
Let's go ahead and fill out that final column. I want you to look really closely at the assumption connecting our output to our outcome. Remember, our output is trained teachers. Our outcome is girls attending regularly. For that logical jump to actually happen in real life, we must assume that school leaders support new methods and that families permit girls to attend. If a school leader actively blocks a newly trained teacher from using their fresh skills, the logic just completely breaks. The outcome will totally fail even if your training was world-class. To really wrap our heads around this, let's evaluate the timeline. We initially mapped everything backwards, right? But in reality, on the ground, change climbs back up the chain using a very strict vertical if-then logic. Think about it like this. In 1 hour, if activities are completed, then in 1 month, outputs are delivered. If those outputs are delivered, then in 1 year, outcomes are achieved. And finally, if outcomes are achieved, then over a span of, say, 5 years, the massive impact is supported.
Let's actually read this specific if-then test aloud together. If teachers complete quality training and school leadership supports them, then teachers should use improved classroom practices. That statement right there, that is the absolute heartbeat of your program design. If the answer to any of those logical jumps is no, like if the training is terrible or the leadership just doesn't support them, your entire framework is broken. Your Logframe has essentially failed the test, and you absolutely must redesign your intervention before you spend a single dollar. And guys, that brings us to our final provocative thought for today. I really want you to evaluate your own projects. Ask yourself, does every single row clearly connect your intended result, the specific evidence required to demonstrate it, and the external conditions necessary for it to actually occur? Because if you can't confidently say yes to that, well, it's probably time to head back to the drawing board. Apply this rigorous quality assurance test to your own Logframes, and let's stop confusing busy activities with genuine, measurable change. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and design for some real impact.